G'day guys, welcome back. I'm going to show you how I mix some of my different paint colours today. I said on one of my previous videos, who wants to see me mix some different colours, and heaps of people said yes please, so let's do it. Right, so I'm using all global paints today. Global paints, they put out some limited edition colours probably once a month. And once those batch of colours are gone, that's it. They don't bring them back. So I really like the navy that they brought in about a year ago. It was called Deep Space and it sold out pretty quick. I couldn't get any more, so I decided I'm going to have to try and make some myself. So I mixed colours until I got it exactly the same. I put their colour there and then my different colours here, and then when I got it exactly the same, I wrote down what I used, the quantities. So this is what I've come up with. So the first thing you need, and as I said, they're all globals. If you're in another country, because these are Australian, if you're in another country you can't get globals. I'm assuming that any sort of bright blue will work. Just play around with it and see how you go. So 400 grams of cool blue. So you need a little digital kitchen scale. 350, 375, 380, 390, 400. All right, so 400 grams of the cool blue. And then we need a little bit of black. So we actually need 30 grams of black. So I always think it's safer just to zero your scale again. And I know you can't see this, but you probably don't need to see it. 30 grams of black. So just put it in slowly. That's 6, 10, 14, 20, 27, getting closer, 29, little drip, 30. Okay, so that's 30 grams of the black. Where's my lid? There. And then, because the cool blue tends to throw purple, if you've used this you'll have noticed that, I add a little bit of green and only just a touch of my green deep, and that counteracts the purple. So zero it again. And we're going to add 10 grams, so not very much at all, 10 grams. Go slowly, you can always add a little bit more, but it's more difficult to take it out if you've put too much in. So as I said, this green just helps counteract the purpleness, so there we go, 10 grams. And that is it. That's the, oh, my paint's all splurging out the side, clean it later. That is Deep Space. Give it a good mix. Get back in there. Trying to jump out and escape. That's pretty much all that these containers can hold. This one, as you can see, doesn't have a global label on it. You can buy these containers from Riot Art. Because once that you've used the containers for, I don't know, 6 months or so, the lids get all clogged up and they don't want to open and they stick and the containers start warping, and time for a new container. So you can buy these. I think they're about $3.50 from memory, something like that. Probably not exactly $3.50, maybe $3.70 for a container. And you can mix up your own colours and then use these containers to put them in, and then you can just write on the label there, just over the top of it, what your paint is. Okay, so there we go. What do you think of that colour? Gorgeous. That's your navy. Alright, so that's that one done. Let's move on to the next one. Now the next one I want to do is Marina. Also a very lovely colour, that's it there. It's called Marina. I'm all out. Alright, so zero my little scale again. And And this one we are using mainly a white base with a little bit of turquoise and then a touch of cobalt just to blue down the turquoise a touch. So there's my white, and we're going to put in 300 grams of white. Now I make this up on a big batch like this, obviously. Whoops, I've gone too far. 330, so I'm going to take some out. Not listening to my own advice on adding slowly. But that's okay, it's just white, so it's easy to take out. And these globals are a lovely thick consistency. All right, that's 304, that'll be fine. Doesn't matter if you're a few grams over on your white. When it comes to your other colours, you really do want to be more exact. So zero that again. So that's 300 grams of white. Now we're going with the turquoise. That's that one there, just plain turquoise, and we're going to add 50 grams of that one. This one only comes in the 1 litre. I mean, it comes in the smaller ones as well, but it doesn't come in the big 2 litre. It only comes in the ones for some reason. Here we go, 50 grams of turquoise. And then, so if I mix those two together, I get a very pale turquoise, but I want to add just a touch of cobalt. That's it there, just the cobalt hue. And we're doing 6 grams of that. So zero your scale back to 0 and very slowly add 6 grams. That's 5. Goes pretty quick. So 6 grams is all you need of that one. I've got a class coming up on Saturday, so I need to spend a few hours today preparing, getting ready, mixing paint. Takes me a long time to prepare for a class. Everyone thinks it's really easy. You just throw some puppy piddle pads down and welcome your guests, but it's not. I spend hours mixing paints, cleaning up, taking up the old push pins from the previous classes' work and getting all my stock ready, and I'm going to make up 6 litres of pouring medium for my 6 students. So it all takes time. So I do that on my day off work. There we go. How about that? Look at that colour. Isn't that gorgeous? So that's our second colour, Marina. Lovely pale, aquary, bluey colour. Gorgeous. Right, what will we do next? Okay, the other one we might do is, this one is called, now you can hardly see my label because it's got paint all over it. It's called Deep Sea. It's a really dark greeny ocean sort of a colour. That one's really pretty as well. So let's do that one. Again, zero your scale. This one is using cool blue as well for the base. So I do go through a lot of my cool blue. And this one is 300 grams of cool blue. I've still got some in there. Oh, it should be all right. I should still be able to fit it all in. 300 grams of cool blue. If I can't fit it in and it overflows, then I'm going to be in trouble, aren't I? 270, 294, 300. There we go. So 300 grams of cool blue. Now we need some of the dark green again, so zero that. And we're going with the, where's my cloth? Going with the dark green again, which is called Green Deep. I'll use the same stick that I used for the previous one. If you're going to, do a big batch of paint, use your sticks again if you can. So zero your scale, and we're going for 45 grams of this dark green. Just going to pour it in because I need quite a bit. Just slowly push it in. Here we go, 41, 42, 43, 48. I'll just take out a touch from the top. And there we go. 45. Just going to scoop some of this back in because otherwise it's going to all splurge out the sides again and make a mess. So your paint gets stuck on the sides in there and then it dries and then you have trouble opening your jars. But who's got time to wipe down every single jar? I don't. Right, so we've got our cool blue, we've got our dark green, and now we need our turquoise. So 0 your scale again, and we're going with the turquoise. So all these colours you can use over and over and over to make your different colours up. So we need 90 grams of this one, and I'm hoping I'm going to be able to fit it in my jar because it's getting pretty full. Oh, look at that. It's getting full. 84, 87, 90. There we go. So that's it. I'm just going to fit it all in there, and I'll use my little green stick. Mix all those colours in together. It's starting to come through now, our lovely dark greeny ocean colour. It's a deep greeny blue colour. It's really pretty. And you have to give these paints, you know, a really good mix because make sure that you've picked up all your paint from the bottom and you've run around the side as well. You have to get your stick around the side. But, you know, don't fill it up as much as this. It's too full. I'm going to have to tip some into another container because I won't be able to get the lid on. So that's it there. That's the lovely deep green. Maybe if you're doing a green pour, you could have that as your darkest green. You don't have to use it with blues. You can use it with greens as well. Works either way. So that's it there. And that is deep sea. Move that out of the way. I can deal with that overflowing later. Okay, so that is the deep space, the Marina, and the deep sea. The other one, which I use a lot, is called Coastal Turquoise. Another of my favourite colours. And I'm all out of that, so let's make some more. Right, so 0 my scale. What we need for Coastal Turquoise is cobalt. Where's my cobalt? I'm going to get my big bottle. My paint arrived yesterday, so I've got fresh stock. Cobalt hue, there it is. And we need 100 grams of cobalt. This colour on its own, I really don't like, I must say. I don't like the cells that the cobalt makes. Put a bit much in, I'm up to 114, 106, that'll do. Doesn't matter, as I said, if you're a couple of grams over, that's okay. So that is 100 grams of the cobalt. And next we're going to go with the turquoise. So 0 your scale again, and we're going to go back to this turquoise. So as you can see, I use all these colours for lots of different things. And we're going to go with 150 grams of turquoise. So in you go. 50, 80, 120, slow down, 130, 140, 147, 151, there we go. So that is the turquoise. Now the other one we need is some white, just to pale it all down, and we're going to have 75 grams of white. So 100 of cobalt, 150 of turquoise, and 75 of white. 60, 68, 77. So that will do. Actually, I think I got 79. Let's just take a touch out. So I wanted 75. There we go. 76. That's fine. Righto. Let's just use this stick again. Cobalt one, give that a mix around. Get your sides, scrape the bottom. So if I'd just done turquoise and white, again, it would give me a very pale turquoise, but I wanted to blue it up a little bit. There we go. I can still see some cobalt mixed in there, so I need to give it another quick swirl. I will give these a proper mix before I use them. I don't want to spend too much time with it now, but there we go. Coastal turquoise. Same as my last one. So that's it there. Probably fit more in that. I could make up another batch of that one. Right, what else? Peacock. Peacock is another of my all-time favourites. Let me see if I can find my empty container. Well used container, this one. You can hardly make out what it says. So, but that's the colour. So let's pop that on there. 0 again. And we are going to go with a white base. So back to the white. It's almost half empty already, and I've only just got it yesterday. Now we are going with 300 grams of white. 160, 200, 230, 250, 280, another couple of blobs, 296, 302. So 300 grams of white. And then we're going with our turquoise again. My poor little turquoise, this is the last one I've got. I did order some, but it didn't come yesterday. They're out of stock, so I think it will be here next week. But I've got enough in there to mix up some more colours. So 300 grams of white. Now we're going with 200 grams of turquoise. So almost 50-50. $130, $150, what did I say? 200, taking up to 200. 180, 197, it'll squirt, 200. So 300 of white, 200 of turquoise. Now we just want a slight little bit of a blue tinge, so we're going with the cobalt. And I only need 10 grams, so I'm not going to try and pour it in. I'm just going to use my tub, otherwise I'll pour in way too much. 0 it again, always remember to 0 it, and we're going with 10. So not very much, just a hint of blue, because it is mainly a pale turquoise, this colour. So that's it there, that's all we need. And that's enough just to change the hue from turquoise to a very pale turquoisey colour. One of my favourites. Peacock and Deep Space. Favourite colours. You can see it changing now as the white's coming up. Mix that cobalt in really well. I think I've done a pretty good job at matching all these colours. I think Global Paints will be happy with my efforts. Maybe I could get a job with them. I could get cheap paint. There we go. Give it a good mix. Make sure your sides are all scraped and the bottom. Clean off your stick every now and then as well. So there we go. Lovely pale turquoise colour. Peacock, that one is. There's a little bit of a difference between it and the Marina. Can you see the difference? Peacock's more, it's darker and it's more aqua. This one's more of a pale blue. The Marina. Okay, put the lid on that one. Rightio, what's next? I've got so much paint to make up. I really need to make some of my new one that I've just worked out how to do. My dioxazine purple, which is this beautiful, beautiful colour. And I think I should be able to fit it in there. There's a little bit left in the jar, maybe not. It's always a trick to see if I can actually fit it in or not. I don't even have another container. I'm waiting for my containers to come. Actually, I can mix it in with this one. This was my, I'll show you, this was my first effort. I don't know if you can see in there. That was my first effort of blue and red. It's all right, it's just not a very attractive purple. No, it won't. Won't contaminate. What can I do? I'll put it into a little cup. That's what I'll do. I'll just scrape it into a cup. Because I don't want it overflowing. More than likely it's going to overflow because I'm going to put a bit of paint in there. So, look at that. How gorgeous and shiny and velvety is that paint. It's a lovely colour. So I'll be using that again. And if I've got room in this container, I'll just pour that back in. But for now, I'll just sit it there. Can you see that colour? Lovely. Dioxazine purple. Okay, so as I said, my first try at making this colour, I used cool blue and red. Really wasn't the same. It was an all right purple, but it really wasn't the same. So we are going with a magenta base. Let me grab my magenta. That's it there. Don't get it mixed up with cool red. It is magenta. And it is, that's a transparent colour, it tells you down there, transparent colour. So it's kind of a reddish, pinkish colour. So we need, make sure your scale's back on again, we need 300 grams of magenta. 290, oh, that's going fast. Magenta is a really thin paint, don't know why. It just is, it's thin, it mixes up thin. I have to add an extra dollop of paint to my pouring medium when I'm using magenta. Right, zero that again, and then we are adding some cool blue, so 100 grams of cool blue. So 300 grams of magenta to 100 grams of cool blue, and that's it, it's just those two. When I started mixing these, I started with the blue base and added magenta slowly. And then it occurred to me after adding more magenta that I needed a magenta black base, and then just added the blue slowly, which was strange. I thought it would have more blue in it. Okay, so that's it. That magenta and cool blue. Give that a good mix. There's a little bit of room on top actually, isn't there? I can probably pour my other paint in. There we go, it's changing now. Give it a good stir until you can't see any other colour. If you can still see streaks of the magenta, keep stirring. Gorgeous, look at that. Beautiful, beautiful colour. I'm going to use this in my daughter's purple pour that I need to do for her. Right, I think I can fit that back in now. So let's pour that all back in. It's much safer in there than it is in this little plastic cup. It might dry out and then I've wasted it. So put it back in the container and then seal it up. And it is ready to go for the class. Speaking of classes, there's a few ladies that have messaged me and said, oh, I'm on holidays, I'm from South Australia or I'm from Melbourne and I'm on holidays, I want to come to a class. So organised a class for the dates that they're here, and then just said, hey, does anybody else want to come to a class, because I'm doing it on these dates for these ladies that are on holidays. So yeah, there we go, Dioxazine purple. Right, what else can I show you? I have got lots and lots of colours. I'm just trying to see what I need. Do I need any more lime? No, I'm good for lime at the moment. Lime, if you want the lime, I'll show you the lime. I don't need to make any more of it at the moment. I've still got quite a lot there. Actually, maybe I'll do half a batch because I've only got half a container. Let's do half a batch. And it's so easy. This is the easiest. It's equal parts of cool yellow and light green. So to fill up a jar, I'd have 200 grams of cool yellow, 200 grams of light green, but I'm only going to halve it. So let's do 100 grams of cool yellow, which is up here on my shelf. 100 grams of the cool yellow, and that is a transparent color. Once you start mixing your colors though, you know, to get this, if you're mixing a transparent with a non-transparent, well then you're obviously losing that opacity. Right, 100 grams. 80, 90, 97, there we go. 105, so close enough. And then I'm mixing that with my light green, and that one is a semi-transparent, so that's good. So this lime green is going to be sort of a semi-transparent colour. Zero that again, and equal parts, so 100 grams or 105. It's really thin, this green. Can you see how it's flowing in? Really thin. It's like the magenta. There we go, 102. That one is. Pop it back on my shelf. Try and clean up as I go so I don't have too much mess at the end of the day. Okay, let's stir that one in. I wonder how I'm going for time. I've still got a few colours to show you. I'm not going to do them all now because I don't need to. Do I need to make up any? I'll go and have a look and see what my lilac's looking like, if I need any more lilac, which is my pale purple. I think I've shown you the main ones. Actually, I haven't done Southern Seas, have I? No. I'll have a look and see if that container's empty. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful colour. And as I said, if you don't have global, maybe try and mix your Liquitex colours together, or your golden, or your Artist Loft. But I would suggest just mixing one brand with one brand. Don't mix, you know, Artist Loft with another brand to get one paint. Try and keep the brands the same. Right, that's that one. Coastal Turquoise. Yep, it's pretty empty as well. That's it there. It's a more of a bluish tone, and I used that in, where is it? This painting. That's the blue there. That Coastal Turquoise is that one. Let's make some of that, and this will be the last one. Oh, I'll check the lilac as well. And that is an opaque colour, Southern Seas. Opaque. But that was the global one. Who knows what mine will be. So this one's a little bit more technical. It was really quite difficult to make this colour. I'm going to start with a cobalt base. That was this one. It took me quite a while to mix, to try and match it. I only just did it this week because I've run out of my Southern Seas this week. So cobalt, 200 grams. Oops, 196. That was pretty good, wasn't it? 199. 202 grams. So 200 grams of the cobalt. Next we need the turquoise, and we need 30 grams of turquoise. So zero it. Back to the turquoise. Use a lot of this. I love my blues. 30. Oh, that was lucky. 31 grams of turquoise. Now we need the cool blue again. Zero that. And we're going to go with 90 grams of the cool blue. 47, 60, 93. Okay. Touch over, but it will be okay. It's not an exact science. A couple of grams over will be fine. Now we need our white to lighten it, we need, oh, this is nearly empty, 100 grams of white. 60, 76, 81, 92, 100. And a drip. Get off drip. There we go. 101 grams. Now the last thing we need, because it has kind of a bit of a smoky look to it, that was what really threw me. Bit of a smoky look to it. 6 grams of black. So don't pour your black in with the big container, just use your little tub and scoop in 6 grams of black. Zero your scale. Now this one you have to be pretty careful with. 3, 4, oh that's 4, 5, 6. Okay, so that's all we need. Not very much at all. And let's give it a stir with, oh, we can stir it with this stir stick here. So going over that one, it is cobalt, 200 grams, turquoise, 30 grams, cool blue, 90 grams, white, 100 grams, and a touch of black, 6 grams. And voila! Look at that colour. This one works really nice in the blue and turquoise kind of a pour because it's got the blue hue as well as the turquoise hue. So it goes really well with my navy and my peacock colours. I don't tend to use the cool blue a lot on its own because, as I said, it throws purple. I prefer to use these colours that I've made up that don't throw purple. If I'm using a pink and purple magenta pour, I'm more than happy to use the cool blue in that because I will get shades of purple. There you go. Southern Seas. Alright, I think I'm done. I've got, oh that's right, I was going to check the lilac. Let me just check my lilac. Hey you guys, my lilac's empty. It is empty. Get the lid off, look at that. Right, looks like I'm doing lilac. Right, this will be the last one, and then I think my tubs are all full and ready for my class on Saturday. Lilac is, again, really quite simple. It's just purple and white. So the white is 200 grams. Come on, white, you can do it. Used a whole 2 litre of white this morning. Although I did fill up one of my white containers, which was empty. That's 100. Get it to go down the bottom there. On my Australian Acrylic pouring page on Facebook, we've recently put up a couple of links for suppliers who supply these big 2 litre bottles of Global at quite a reasonable price. So if you are in Australia, not for overseas, but if you're in Australia and you want to get these, have a look at those links that I've put on. Now to get the rest, this is pretty empty now, so to get the rest out, I will actually cut with my Stanley knife or my cutting knife. Cut through here, all the way through there. So I've got 2 halves, and then I will scrape all the paint out with my spatula and put it back into my white container. So I've worked out there's about 150 grams of paint left in those big bottles, so certainly don't want to waste it. So we have our 200 grams of white, well it's 206, but close enough. So zero that again, and I'm going to get my purple. This one, it's nearly finished actually, so I'll use a bit of this and then I'll go with my bigger one because I want to empty this. So purple semi-transparent colour, and we need 300. There's really not much left in there at all. I'm only up to 15 grams, 22. But I don't want to waste it, so I'll get what I can out. Sorry about the banging. This is just how it's done. 44. Alright, that's it. I've got 45 grams out of that, and now I need to take it up to 300. So I'll grab my other purple. There it is there, big boy purple, and taking it up to 300 grams. This is another really runny paint. 215 to 40 to 50 to 70 to 90 to 97, 302. There we go, close enough. Yeah, the purple again, really runny colour. What stick can I use? I have to get another stick. Sticks are contaminated. Right. So, lilac. 200 grams of white. 300 grams of purple. This takes a bit of time for that white to come up from the bottom. There it comes. There it is. So have a go at making some of these paints if you've already got some global colours and you want to have a go at making some different shades. Don't all jump onto the Riot Art website and get more containers before me, because I need some too. Last time I got on and ordered some just before Christmas, they only had 6 left online. My local Riot shut down, so I can't even go down to the store. Well, I can, but it's a 2-hour return drive down to my nearest one. So I got online and ordered some of these containers, and they only had 6 left, but I do need to get on and get some more so that I'd like to have 2 tubs of each colour made up. And then I don't have to worry about running out too much because I've always got a spare. So there you go, gorgeous colour. There's a little bit of white still popping through, so I need to give it another good stir. Lilac, rightio. Oh, I'm exhausted, mixing up paint. Rightio, that will do. I have still got a few other colours, but I'll leave them for another video. I'm sure you're all sick of hearing my voice by now. And I will see you for the next one. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and hit the little bell on the YouTube channel so that you can catch all my videos. And I will see you for the next pour. And I'll get to use some of my new colours. Yay! Alright, bye for now.